Yes. Lie down on your back. Relax. Take a few moments here to just completely let go. Make sure you have enough room between your feet, at least as wide as the pelvis. And I even like it when it's double time the size of the pelvis, the space between the feet. So there is a lot of room for the feet to fall open towards the sides, so the hips can relax. Allow your pelvis to unwind. There's no need to hold it in any particular way right now. Let the curve of the lower back do what it wants to do. Allowing the abdominal muscles to relax. Open up your arms to the sides. Allow them to fall open, to relax open. Allowing your shoulders to be free, clavicle bones to be free, shoulder blades relaxed underneath the rib cage. And even the rib cage, the chest, no need to hold it up or down or anything. Just allow your weight to fall down to the floor through undoing any kind of actions that are habitual there. Undoing all the little tensions that you may hold in your body. Just completely surrendering your weight to the floor with a smile. Allowing the arch, the back of the neck to be natural. Whatever it is, you can move your head a little bit around from side to side just to maybe find a comfortable place until you found the moment in the center where it can relax. You can do the same with the arms. So pick up your right arm straight as it is, extend it far away from you and put it down. Take it back up, contract it closer and closer towards your shoulder and then put it down. And then take it up, extract it far, shake it a little bit, relax and let it down. Wherever it falls, let it relax there. Do the same with the left arm. Pick up the left arm as it is, a few centimeters off the floor, straight. Extend it far away from you in the directions of the fingers, far, far, far away, then put it down. Relax there for a moment. Take it back up a few centimeters straight. Contract it as if it's shrinking into your shoulder. And then let it down. Relax there. And take it up. Extend it. Shake it a little bit. Relax the extension and let it fall. Or wherever it falls, let it be there. Do the same thing with the right leg. Pick it up a few centimeters off the floor, straight the way it is, extend it away from you, as if it's pointing and being pulled away from the pelvis, and let it down. Pick it back up, the whole right leg, squeeze it in as if it's being shrunk into the pelvis, and then let it down. And do it one more time. Take it up, extend it a little bit, then shake it, shake it, shake it. Don't think about extending, just shake the leg straight as it is, and let it down. Yeah, take the left leg just as it is, straight, a few centimeters off the floor. Extend it away from you, away from you. Smile and let it down. Keep the smile, take the leg back up, and then shrink it into the body as if it's climbing inside your pelvis, into your belly. Let it down there also. And take it up, extend it a little bit, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Don't think about extending, shake, just shake and let go. Wherever it falls, it falls. If it's comfortable, it's comfortable. If it's not, you can move it to somewhere comfortable. Just relax. Smile. Breathe. Let's just start by bending the right knee, a micro bend. Smallest bend of the knee that you can feel. The right knee bending towards the right side. Small micro bend and release. Small micro bend and release. And do just that many times. Very small, simple, easy. And see where it affects. If you can feel that micro bend going up through the hip joint. See if you can feel that micro bend going down through the foot, right foot. Right knee is micro bending and releasing, micro bending and releasing. You can make that micro bend a little bit bigger. You're looking for the easiest, simplest way to bend your knee over towards the right and let it go. Bend it, let it go. Bend it, let it go. And pay attention what's happening in your pelvis and how your pelvis is participating in this movement. What is your foot doing here? The right foot. Which muscles need to work in order to make this happen? Which ones need to relax in order to make this happen? And as the bend becomes a little bit bigger, let's say now it grows. Every time you take it, it grows by a millimeter. or it grows as small as you feel the growth. As you're doing that, pay attention to what happens when you release the leg. When you release the bend, just allow it to kind of straighten by itself. See that this movement echoes through the pelvis into the belly, through the belly into the ribs, without the belly or the ribs needing to do anything. From the ribs into the chest, into the back. You can probably feel it in your spine, climbing all the way up towards the head. Echoes of when you let go of the foot. And then also see what happens when you bend. When you bend, already there, the pelvis does something, receiving a little bit more weight on the right. The ribs are shifting their position in relation to the mat. The chest is leaning over towards the right shoulder blade. Spine is curving a little bit. Because the spine is curving, the movement goes up through the neck into the head. The head is rolling a tiny bit. And then echo back. Bend, echo back. Bend, echo back. And as the bend grows, it arrives over towards the right hand. And the next time your knee touches the right hand or arrives where the right hand can touch it, try to grab the knee with the right hand. Grab the knee. And just let it linger there for a moment. Relax your pelvis. Allow the little stretch in the inner thigh to be there, but don't try to force anything. And then from there, you're leaning the knee, the right knee to the right palm of the hand. The leg is not doing anything anymore. The hip joint is completely relaxed, being held by the right hand. And now the right elbow starts to bend to bring the knee closer to you. But the same thing like we did before. It bends every time a little bit. It brings just a tiny bit closer to you. If the tip of your elbow is on the floor and that's painful, you can bend your elbow a little bit in towards the thigh. So the side of the outer side of the elbow is on the floor, then you won't have that. If you don't have that or your mat is thick enough, then don't worry about it. You're taking the knee and you're bringing it tiny bit closer to your chest every time you bend your elbow. And you completely relax your hip joint here, your right hip joint. And you smile, of course, bringing the knee closer and closer to the chest, closer and closer to the armpit every time you do it. Allowing it to fall down as much as you can agree to. Fold down, maybe fold up, fold down and fold up. And smile and breathe and relax and smile and keep going. Next time your knee is close to your chest, keep it there for a moment Grab it with your left arm. Grab the knee with your left arm. And then just put your right hand down. The left palm of the hand is on top of the knee, holding the knee. Without force, just leaning on the knee is enough. If you lean the weight of the left hand on the knee, it's enough. Then the knee doesn't need to do anything, and the hip joint doesn't need to do anything. Now put your attention in the hip joint and see if there's anything there that you can melt away. And you can allow yourself with the breath here to melt away any kind of tension there. And as you melt that away, you can also start to melt away any tension you have in your left elbow. So you're allowing your knee to lean on the palm of the hand. So then the right knee is leaning, the weight is leaning towards the right, being held by the left palm of the hand. Left elbow is straight, relaxed. The knee wants to fall over to the side. That's what happens naturally. And so it's the knee is kind of pulling the right palm of the hand, the right lower arm, the right elbow, the right shoulder. It's being pulled over. The left arm, is being pulled over towards the right by the right knee. And then you just use the arm with the simplest, easiest way possible, bringing the knee closer to your chest, over towards the middle, and releasing back down. Closer to the chest, over towards the middle, and releasing back down. With a smile and a lot of easiness in the hip joint. You want your hip joints to be passive. They're not working at all. If you have any tension there, let it go. No reason to do anything with the hip joints. In other words, trust your left arm to hold the weight of your right knee, your right leg. Hold it, actually. And smile. And open it and close it, and open it and close it. And then you can add the right arm here. And then start to wiggle it a little bit. You can start wiggling it. Close, open, closer to the center, closer towards the center of your chest. Maybe a little bit over towards the left. When you do over towards the left, there might be a little pinch in the inner thigh inside. That's okay, it's natural, it happens to a lot of people. Don't try to fight it or to squeeze on it. If you can go around it somehow, that's great. If you can go through it quickly, that's also okay. Don't battle with it. Going with the knee and allowing your both hands now to support the knee, to support the hip, allowing the hip to open up here, allowing the smile, the wiggle, starting to wiggle, starting to create a little bit more dynamic movement of the hip, of the knee. You can extend the knee a little bit away from you in the direction of the feet, pushing with one hand and pulling with the other hand, allowing the hip joint to be really relaxed, creating these circles here, circles that are going down inside of the hip joint. And the both arms, they're making the circles, not the hip and not the knee. The leg is completely relaxed, the right leg. The right hand can hold on top of the knee from inside, and the left hand can go down towards the foot, and you can drive the foot like you would drive a car from the left hand on the foot and the right hand on the knee, driving the leg around in circles and in spirals, just like you would drive a car, like you would drive maybe a motorcycle. You're holding the knee with the right arm and the foot with the left arm, and you're making these circles. You can circle the foot in relation to the knee, in relation to the hip joint, taking the knee around and the pelvis around. Starting here with a smile to also roll your head a little bit from side to side. As you do this, roll a little bit your pelvis from side to side. Start to create a little bit of a mess between how you are rolling your hip inside your hip joint from the knee and the foot, driving the knee and the foot. You can start taking the foot closer to you, away from you. You don't need to be flexible for that. If something is uncomfortable in your back, try standing your left leg. Standing your left leg, maybe that can help shorten a little bit the distance there. And you're driving it, taking it to the right, to the left, making a little bit of a mess inside the knee, a mess inside the hip joint, rolling the pelvis around, opening up the belly, the rib cage. Ribs are starting to communicate with the floor. The shoulder blades are communicating with the ribs, and as the shoulder blades are connected to the arms, they also have information coming from the ribs into the arms that allow this driving to become a little bit wilder, a little bit crazier in some way, a bit less organized, with a smile. Roll your head from side to side a little bit. You can change the hands, so the left hand goes to the knee and the right hand goes down towards the foot, and you can drive in that direction a little bit by making a little X between your arms, moving the foot around, rolling the head, creating a big mess in your system, so this movement can start to integrate itself. Take the two hands and you start rolling the leg from side to side, shaking it to side a little bit, shaking your head, shaking your foot, shaking your knee, taking the knee a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, just to open up possibilities here with the spine. And then let it go, completely let it go. Lie on your back, relax, and feel the difference between the whole right side of the pelvis, right hip joint, right hip, right knee, shin bone, calf muscle, ankle, foot, to the left side. And then take the right leg and just roll it in and out a few times. And then just take it up and down in a waving motion a few times, just to kind of activate it, get a little bit spirals there. And then let it go. Let it go. And do the same with the left and see how it feels. Roll the left foot in and out a few times. Take it up and down a few times. Down a few times. Try to create these kind of spirals coming in from the foot, from the knee. And see what the difference is. You can do once on the right, rolling in and out, then once on the left, rolling in and out. Just so you can feel the difference. Once on the right, picking up, kicking up. letting go once on the left. And let it go. Relax, smile, and let's do the other side. We're starting with micro bends. The left knee micro bending over towards the left. The left side of the body already learned quite a lot when we did the right side. Well, it's the left side only of the hip and down. So we're gonna maybe have a little shorter time on the left, but it's gonna be open the same way. So smile, bending, micro bending, letting go, micro bending, letting go, and putting our attention on the rest of the system. The rest of the skeletal system, the rest of the nervous system, the rest of the body, how it's affected by the movement, how it's supporting the movement, and maybe also where it blocks the movement. Micro bending, letting go, micro bending a little bit bigger, starting to enlarge the micro bend a little bit over to the left knee over to the left, and let go. When you let go, allow the leg to straighten. When it's straight, there is this echo that goes through the pelvis, belly, shoom, it shoots through the spine into the head. When it shoots through the spine, it goes through the rib cage, through the chest, on top of the shoulder blades, into the arms. And you can feel it there. And if something isn't clear, just see if there's anything you can do less of, not more of, in order to allow that movement that's already passing to affect, and allow your system to recognize that effect. And smile. Slowly the bending of the knee becomes a little bit bigger, a little bit higher. And here, when it bends, you can already feel that the bend climbs all the way up through the spine, going on a C, into the head, into the chest, and then wiggle. The left side of the pelvis receives more weight when you bend towards the left. The left rib cage is leaning over towards the left shoulder. The left side of the neck gets shorter and the head wants to roll over towards the left. And let go. And wiggle. And let go. And wiggle. And the bend becomes a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and touch it a few times with your hand when it comes. It arrives towards the hand, touch it, let it go, touch it, let it go. Smile, touch it, let it go, relax, touch it, let it go, until you grab it with your left hand holding the left knee. And the foot can relax on the floor and everything else can relax. But just the left knee is being held by the left hand. And if you have any kind of tension, stretch here, and you feel it's uncomfortable, stand your right foot. Stand your right foot so your right pelvis can go a little bit up and the knee can go down towards the floor. That's okay. If you need that, you can stand it close. If you need that, you can. If you don't need it so close, you can stand it a little bit away. If you don't need that, if it's not necessary for you, you can also completely leave it straight. And here, the hip joint is completely relaxing, and the right hand, the left hand is the one that holds all the weight. And then the left elbow starts to bend and bring the knee a little bit closer to you and down. A little bit closer to you and down. That's it. Closer over towards your shoulder It wants to make a circle up through the closest to the ground, the most it can. Over towards the shoulder, through staying the closest to the ground. So it's not going over through the middle. It goes up like the knee is climbing up towards the ear. Through the shoulder before it goes to the chest. It doesn't go straight up to the chest. Yeah, it makes a curve because the body works in curves. There's no straight lines in the movement of the body. It all works in curves. So it's curving up. Curving up. Every time you bend a little bit more, and the knee comes a little bit closer. And every time it comes closer, you let it go, it goes back down closer to the floor. And it stays close to the floor, and it rolls, and it goes back down. Rolls and goes back down. If you do it with a smile and with patience and curiosity, it will open up. And breathe freely until it's very close to your shoulder, and then change between the right hand. Grab with the right hand, relax the left hand, so the right hand is the one holding the knee, close to your chest somewhere, and then just put your attention down into your hip and allow that hip to gently melt. Smile and allow that hip to melt down, down, down. And the thigh is melting inside the hip joint. No effort here. No struggle here. Relaxing completely the hip joint. The right arm might feel like it's doing some extra work because it's holding the weight. And so because of that, we're gonna let go slowly the extra work that the right arm is doing. So the palm of the hand is still holding on, but then the elbow slowly releases and the wrist slowly releases and the shoulder slowly releases until the knee is hanging on top of the hand, completely hanging. And the hip joint is open and relaxed. And then you can use that by taking the whole weight of your right arm over to bring your knee closer to your chest and back away. Open towards your chest and back away. Just that. Simple, easy, relaxed, with a smile. With a big breath, as much as possible, as much as feels good to you now. Bringing the knee closer over towards your chest, relaxing completely the hip joint. The hip doesn't do anything. The leg doesn't want to help here. So much that if the hand lets go, the leg falls down. And you're not even gonna use the leg muscles to pick it back up if it falls down. You're gonna use the arms, both arms. And then you can put both arms on the knee and drive the knee a little bit closer to you, a little bit away from you, closer, away. How far away it can go while still pulling on the right shoulder over towards the left with a smile. Maybe a little bit over the top towards the right side. If you have a pinch inside the hip when you're going with the left hip over towards the right, that's okay. It happens to most people. It's something with the structure here. Don't push on it. Go around it or through it quickly. but no effort there. And smile and start to drive it a little bit forward and backward, closer to you, maybe a little bit away from you. You can use both arms on the knee to start to drive the knee around. Like you will be driving a stick, a little stick that drives. I don't know what kind of transportation vehicle drives with just a stick, but I'm sure that it exists. It's like you're holding the knee and you're taking it closer to you, away from you, a little bit circles, starting to create a little bit of a disorganization here. And by disorganization, you're also looking for the freedom of the knee, driving the knee to the place where it feels freedom, and driving it also through the places where it doesn't feel freedom, and asking the question, why don't you feel freedom here? How can I help you to feel freedom? Maybe I'm doing something too much. What can I let go of? Everything coming from the hands. And you can take the right hand down towards the foot, the right hand towards the left foot, the left hand on the left knee, and you're driving here the whole leg, driving from both hands, taking the foot maybe a little bit away from you, over towards the right side, and pulling it from the knee over to the left. If you have anything with your lower back or something with the flexibility doesn't feel good, just stand your right knee here. Stand your right knee. This shouldn't be difficult at all. You should be having fun all along. Smile and start driving the knee around. Driving the knee, taking the foot a little bit away, over towards the right, through the center, and also asking yourself which arm is driving more. Am I driving more from the right? Am I driving more from the left? You can really drip like you're holding a ball, like you're holding, like you're holding a car, steering wheel of a car, just on two sides here, and you're steering it on the right, you're steering it to the left, you're steering it, opening up, and smile, and start here to disorganize from your pelvis up towards the knee, and from the knee down through the hands, down through the knee, down through the pelvis. Disorganizing it down through the other side of the pelvis. You can change between the arms. The right arm can go up to the knee, the left arm can go down to the foot, and it can go from the outside, or it can also go from the inside and across. Driving the foot around, driving the knee in a different direction. Disorganizing the pelvis on the floor, disorganizing the right leg here, and the right knee, and the right heel on the floor, disorganizing them by moving them around, by creating a little bit of a chaos in your whole right leg. The whole right leg, the one that's on the floor. It's being moved actively with a smile. And the pelvis also is being moved actively with a smile. Yeah, and you breathe and you start to drive the movement inside your belly and inside your rib cage. Yeah. Taking the knee and letting it down, picking up the other knee, the right knee, and driving here with the shoulders on the floor, opening up again on the right side, Taking it in and taking it out. Cha, cha, cha. Smiling. Cha, 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 cha. Taking the both legs down and activating the disorganization of the feet, disorganization of the knees, disorganization of the hip joints and the pelvis. Disorganizing each leg by itself, each foot by itself, each knee goes in and then out, each hip joint goes in and then out. Each side of the pelvis rolls and then comes back and goes to the side and makes a circle and an 8 and a spiral and a zigzag. And then it goes up through the spine. The spine starts to be actively a participant. Active spine, open belly, spine in between the ribs, smile. Each one of the ribs on the right side opens up and smiles. All the right side of the rib cage opens up. The right shoulder, the right side of the chest, the right side of the chest bone. Through the chest bone to the left side of the ribs. Each ribs opens up with a smile. Being actively moving, actively moving with a smile and a lot of positive energy. And the left shoulder blade and the left hip, the left shoulder blade, the whole left side of the rib cage, the whole rib cage and the spine in between the rib cage, the shoulder on the right side, the shoulder on the left side, the elbow on the right side, the elbow on the left side, the palm of the right hand, the palm of the left hand, the spine, whole spine into the neck, neck into the head, head inside with the tongue inside the mouth and the chin moving from side to side, the smile moving from side to side, and the ears disorganizing the ears and the chest, disorganizing the pelvis and the shoulders, disorganizing the feet and the knees, and smiling with all of this disorganization, smiling, and then picking up your right knee close to your chest with your right hand, and picking up your left knee with your left hand close to your. And then you lean each one of the knees and you start driving them around with the hands. So now maybe the hip joints are going to do something, but they have the possibility to do something from the least amount of tension possible. So you start to drive here with the hands, the right hand on the right knee and the left hand on the left knee, and you're driving the two different cars, driving two different cars at the same time. That's nice. Driving two different cars in the left at the same time. You can sometimes roll over towards one of the sides, and that side gets to be completely relaxed. You can drive the knee closer and closer to you until maybe even you put the knee inside the elbow. If you can reach with your arms down, your shins, if you can reach. If not, go and keep going with your arms, with your hands on top of your knees, and your smile in your face. And disorganizing the shoulders here and the shoulder blades, disorganizing between the pelvis and the lower back. And opening up a little bit. And then putting a little bit of weight down through the knees and pushing the knees a little bit and leaning on them so you can start to straighten one by one, straightening up until you're sitting and then fall back down. One by one, they're straightening and you're leaning on the knees. You're leaning your arms on the knees. This is abdominal muscles are completely relaxed here. You're leaning the knees far from you, and then you go back down. And if you go up, you go up. If you don't, you don't. And you can roll here. You can find a place where you are completely leaning on the back of your pelvis. And if you're okay with doing this in balance, okay. If not, put down one leg, roll with the other leg, roll it open, roll it to the back, put the one hand on the floor behind you. You can put another hand on the floor behind you. If you're okay with balancing here, balance here a little bit. Go back down, go back up, smile, open it up a little bit. Slowly, slowly start to open up here the movement with a smile. Finding ways to go back down into the floor. Smiling. Down, opening up. Right up. Back down. And find your place back on your back as the movement is still going around through your whole body. The movement is still passing through everything. And then completely relax your legs. The whole, everything from the pelvis down. From the pelvis, the hip joints, the knees, the heels, ankles, feet. Now, it's not that they don't move. They move, but they're not active in any way right now. All the movement is just being sent to them. Sent to them through the body, through different parts, from different parts of the body, through the belly, down into the pelvis, and down into the legs. And you can start sending different kind of movements to different parts of the lower part of your body right now. So you're activating the ribs, you're activating the spine, you're activating the communication in between the shoulder blades and the ribs and the right side and the left side. You're activating both shoulders, both arms into the floor. You're activating your head and your neck. And you're starting to send the movement directed down. See if you can start to send, direct the movement down towards your legs. So your legs will receive movement here. This is how people that have lost sensation in areas of their body can still learn to feel movement going through. You can still, if you imagine like you have no control over your legs, you can still send the movement down there. So see if you can activate your belly in such a way that it activates the movement and sends it down through the pelvis, down into the legs. And then belly connected to the lower spine, connected into the middle spine that's already with the rib cage, and the ribs on the right communicating with the ribs on the left, also sending movement through the ribs, through the belly, into the pelvis, into the right leg, the right hip joint, the right knee, the right heel, and into the left hip joint, the left side of the pelvis, the left knee, the left heel, the left foot, and in between you're sending maybe sometimes both to both legs, maybe one leg is receiving a little bit more, the other a little bit less, but they're completely passive. And in the rib, if the ribs are participating, sending the movement down, then the chest can also do the same. From the chest bone down, and from the chest bone over towards the right, and from the chest bone over towards the left, and from the chest bone in a disorganizing way through the ribs, into the spine, into the belly, down the feet, into the legs, and down the feet, out through the feet, into the space around you. And from the clavicle bones on the right side and on the left side, and the shoulder blades that are sliding here underneath the rib cage, sliding underneath the rib cage, sending the movement over towards the right, zigzagging it over from the right to the left, from the left to the right, from the right to the left, from the left to the right, shoulder to shoulder, shoulder blade to shoulder blade, the spine in between the shoulder blades, up through the neck and the head, all activators, all the supporters of the movement, all the activators of the movement, they're all initiating and sending movement down the body, like they're trying all the time. And it's okay if some of the movement goes around in circles inside the body. It can go from side to side, it can go up and down, it can get it can go out of the body in different place than what you intended. It's not wasted, as long as it went through your body, it's not wasted at all. But you want to just feel how that freedom of movements in the whole upper side of the body is affecting your lower body. Find the most amount of freedom here in your hands, in your wrists, in your lower arms and elbows and upper arms and shoulders and both sides and the shoulder blades into the head, the smile, eyes, and in the chin, in the tongue, inside your throat, inside your chest, with your breath, with your heartbeat, with your diaphragm and all the internal organs. They all want to send movement and participate and celebrate the relaxation of your pelvis, hip joints, hips, knees, shins, calf muscles, ankles, heels, and feet. And sending smiles down, sending smiles up. And then reverse that, so completely disactivate the upper body and just activate the lower body. Both feet, both knees, both hip joints, and the pelvis. They're completely now celebrating all the movement that came up, came down through the whole body, down into the legs, into the pelvis, into the legs, and down out through the feet. Is now coming back. It's like they're dancing in between each other, like a battle dance. One is dancing, and then the other one is dancing. So now they're dancing their dance, and they're saying, "Hey, I can go from this way, and I can go from the other way, and I can go from this side, I can go from that side." And if you smile, it happens. And if you open it, if you open your breath, it happens. Sending from the right and from the left. And then activate the upper side of your body and the lower side of the body. And send the movement up and down and up and through the right and the left and with a smile and with the whole open hip. And take the right hip up and drive it around as the whole body is activating still, and drive the whole knee around. You can grab it with both arms or with one arm or both arms in the knee and activate it. And put it down and activate the whole body again and smile. And grab the left knee and activate and drive it into your body. And around. And smile, allow yourself to breathe and allow the to come out. And put the knee down and keep activating the whole amount of the body. Everything inside the body, activate everything. And find a way to roll yourself to the side and activate into the belly and activate and into the forward. And finally, with all this disorganization and activation of the whole body, the lower side and the upper side, to get yourself into standing. Into standing here also. And activating the lower part and the upper part. Sending movement from down to up and from up to down through the hip and open the hips all around you. And take a little few steps forward and backwards. Forwards and backwards and forwards and side to side a little bit. And sticking out your hips to the front and to the back. Disorganizing a little bit, with a smile, disorganizing from the whole left side, disorganizing everything on the left, from the foot to the hand, 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 and everything disorganizing the right side, from the foot up to the hand, from the foot to the hand, up, and and disorganizing even more, and activate it a little bit faster. Activating, sending, rolling around in the room, rolling it around, activating, with a smile, and take the right hand and wash the right side of the head, and the right side of the head again, and one more time the right side, still activating everything from inside, left side, relax, and smile, one more time with the sound, the right hand all over the left hand, over to the right, the left hand, and one more time, and take the right hand over, around, over, and around, over, and around left side, over, right, and hold it, chest, belly, side, and back, and chest, and side, belly, side, and back. And the both arms underneath the leg, the whole leg out, and underneath the leg, the whole leg out, completely. And one last time on the right side with a smile, and the left side, the whole leg, out. Taking it from the hip all the way out, and last time with a smile, and up, and just let it go. Stand for a moment, close your eyes, relax. Feel what's still there. Feel what's different, what's open, what's changed. And smile and relax.